global alternative.
And now, broadcasting from the top of the skyscraper that is the Markham Hall on the Rogers State University campus in Claremore, it's Green Country's most exciting radio show, Free Association. And now, here is the Fort Smith Fireball, your champion of chicken, and your deluxe dueling DJ, Mark Lay.
Do you like a show with a lot of personality? Well, you can do no better than Free Association. Stick around till 6 p.m. on this Wednesday afternoon, folks, because I'll run through the headlines for you. I'll give you an internship update. I'll also play you the true alternative music. So let's start it off with a request. Here's the Dead Weather with Die by the Drop right here on Free Association. And you can live with every song. Give me a call at 343-7913. That was Passion Pit. That was Passion Pit with Sleepyhead right here on Free Association. Before that, we had Flying Machines with On a Whim. And before that, we had Beastie Boys with B-Boys in the Cut, all right here on 91.3 FM. So what type of music was it? It was true alternative music. Well, what type of show are you listening to? You're listening to Free Association. And there goes the blinking light, meaning once again that not an angel gets his wings, but that we have a request. So we'll get to that here in a moment on 91.3 FM. But for now, let's go ahead and take a look at the headlines. On MSNBC.com, after $1.7 billion air chaos, blame game begins. Well, blame it on my dad. That's what my mom would do, so that's what they should do for the Iceland volcanoes, just blame it on my dad. And then, if you've ever doubted, you've wondered, is there justice in the world? Why is there suffering? You know, why do such horrible things have to happen in life and the evil get away? Well, here's a nice story for you. The NFL suspends Ben Roethlisberger for 4 to 6 games because of his violation of the NFL's personal conduct policy. So there you go. I never thought that the NFL would act against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Usually they act in favor of them. So there is an instance of justice in the world. A small, infinitesimal instance of justice in the world. That was Dead Weather with Hang You Up from the Heavens, and that was a request from Mamacita Lolita in Van Buren, Arkansas. You're listening to Free Association with Mark Lane, and how long has this been going on? For like 2 months. Every now and then I get a request from her. So you're probably curious, well, who is this person? It's the daughter-in-law of one of my Catholic youth group leaders from back home in Fort Smith. And Mamacita Lolita is the most awesome person in the history of the universe. You know how how the scientific method and some of the other scientific measurements that we have are derived from certain things. For instance, I think a second is measured by how many times an electron orbits the nucleus or something to that effect, and however long that takes is a second. That's not exact, but it's based on something like that. Well, awesomeness is measured by how awesome Mamacita Lolita is. So there you go. That's how awesome she is. She revolutionizes it. So, what else do I have to tell you about? Well, I could tell you about how I went to the Relay for Life this past Friday night after synagogue. I was in the suit, and I was there at the Soldier Field walking around and so forth. And it was sort of a bad thing to be in the suit. I enjoyed all the activities that went on, but it was especially a bad idea to be in the suit because they had some sort of joke drag queen pageant thing, and anyway, so I'm walking along the track, and then they get a guy that's dressed some of the contestants dressed in drag, and I had to walk one of them around the track. And that was because I was in the suit. If I weren't in the suit, I wouldn't have had that. And then they snap pictures of it, so there you go. I got to be careful of that in the future. Rahm Emanuel may get a hold of that and knock me off the microphone. He may come take my microphone away with a gym towel. So there you go. Los Campesinos, Romance is Boring, right here on 91.3 FM, a dial position on your FM band that is not boring, particularly from 4 to 6, when I, Mark Lane, am hosting Free Association. Then before that we had Wighead with Bad Idea, and before that we had Ben Lee with What's So Bad About Feeling Good. I feel like I'm listening to something coming off of the White Bicycle Dating Mimeograph. First you get Romance is Boring, what are you messing around with that for? Then you get Wighead with, it's a bad idea to fall in love, and then you get the one before that with What's So Bad About Feeling Good. It's, one thing to the next. But don't worry, we'll continue the theme of love, because after the break we have a request, Love Letter to Japan, by the Bird and the Bee, right here on Free Association. But for now, I'm going to see what classes, my communication courses I should take next semester, because I got to get out of here. I got to get out into the real world, so I got to figure out what classes I got to take to do so. Anyway, on the front, they have Josh Bueller on the front of the fall schedule here. Why don't they put Lynn Riggs on there, since we're doing old alumni? I mean, why not? You can't talk about the ghosts on campus, but they'll put the ghosts on the booklets here. Okay, so what do we got going on here? Voice articulation, a class I never took, but YouTube still gets my closed captioning right. Stagecraft, that sounds like sorcery more than a communications course. Argumentation and persuasion. In my family, the idea of argumentation is to talk over the top of the other person, and their idea of persuasion is to put someone on a guilt trip. Communication research methods, media management. What else do we have? Communication in organizations. Yeah, they all look like interesting classes, certainly. Audio production, huh? That's how I got my start. That's how I was able to, that was my foray into radio here on RSU Radio, was through audio production. But I don't know, I can't get over it. They have Josh Bueller on the front cover. Do they not want us to forget who he was? I mean, it's going to happen anyway. Go read Ecclesiastes, that's what it talks about, which is, we forget people in the past. That's just the way it is. But you think Ecclesiastes, that's in the Bible. That doesn't mean anything today. Well, it's meant something to the Birds. They had it in their songs, so there you go. You like the Birds? Well, you like some of their contemporaries as well, especially when you listen to them presented by the Rock Doctor, right here on 91.3 FM, Monday nights from 11 to midnight. That was Sarah Borges with Stop and Think It Over. This is Mark Lane, and I don't stop and think it over at all. I just speak directly what's on my mind. Yeah, right. If you believe that, I have a bay I would like to sell you. If I did that, there's no 7-second delay, so if I did something like that, I'd be thrown right off of RSU Radio. Then before that, we had Shout Out Louds with Throwing Stones, and before that, we had Kanon with Waving Flag, all right here on Real College Radio 91.3 FM. And we're coming now to the end of the show. Oh, there's something I forgot to tell you guys. I made the mention of I went to the Relay for Life, and before that I was at synagogue. Well, it's not that I'm Jewish. I had to do a project for my comparative religion class. And so my project was comparing a Catholic synagogue service with a Catholic synagogue, you moron, a Jewish synagogue service with a Catholic Mass. You see that? Now you can tell I'm dyslexic. So that's why I was at synagogue. But an interesting thing was, when I went to synagogue, one of the ushers, I was talking to him, and I told him, what college I go to. And he says, oh, yeah, I like RSU Radio. I like your college's radio station. And I said, oh, really? Well, do you get a chance to listen to my show? Or he said something. He made some mention. He knew who I was after that. And he said, don't tell me your show's, oh, yeah, Free Association. So, and he also said that he won a few prize packs from Turbo as well. So, Dan in Tulsa, if you're listening, to you I say shalom. All right, after the break, we'll have Karen with the concert calendar. If you're looking for some more fun tonight, we have Pete Lee at the Will Rogers Auditorium at 7 p.m., the RSU's best comedian. But I understand why you wouldn't want to go to that. Fear of missing Riot Radio, of course. Riot Radio airs from 7 to 9 tonight on RSU Radio, so, you don't want to miss that as well. It's a conundrum. And then from 9 to 11, we have KO with the new music show, and then from 11 to 2 a.m. we have Turbo with the Midnight Metal Meltdown. That's what's coming up on RSU Radio. So there it is.
This is Real College Radio.